Hey everybody, Greg right here with Outdoor Solutions and from fieldtotable.com. Getting ready to share a recipe with you from Chef Wutsch. We're going to do a stir fry. But first I want to share with you just a little bit as to why I started from field to table. As a hunter, like most of you all, I went through the entire process from the very beginning, learning how to shoot, learning the right equipment to take out in the field for the species that I was hunting. Learned where to hang a tree stand, how to hang a tree stand, learned how to hunt out west from outfitters and guides that I worked with over the years, and then evolved into learning how to field dress, how to skin, how to quarter, how to cut all the primal cuts off so I could put it in my backpack and hike it out. And that was honestly kind of where my experience ended, would be at dropping it off at the processor. I didn't know one cut of meat from another. And what I've found now over the years as my interest has grown is that a lot of other hunters have had the exact same experience. I've talked to guides that have been guiding for 20 years that don't know one cut of meat from another. And so it encouraged me to start this from field to table and our website from fieldtotable.com. And I partnered up with Chef Wutsch, who I've known for about 15 years. And he has just been very instrumental in teaching myself and our clients in how to butcher, how to properly field dress. There's a lot that goes into it for how the wild game tastes, and then of course the cooking aspect, which he's an expert at. And anyway, so we got from field to table started, and over the last several months I have learned an enormous amount from him. I still have a long ways to go, but now we're starting to do some recipes here in my kitchen that I've gotten from Chef. And in fact, what I wanted to share with you is I started cleaning out my freezer, and we're actually cooking up some venison steaks this evening that we're going to make in a stir fry. But some of that I'm cleaning out is from last season's deer. And so what I wanted to show you is what I got back from the processor, which is actually what not to do. If you come over and look at the steak that is cut, this is actually from a hind quarter that includes part of the inside top round, part of the eye round, and then down at the bottom part of the tri-tip and the knuckle. But what this has done there, as you can see, there's a huge surface area, so whenever this piece starts to thaw out, there's just that much more blood that will be coming out, that much more moisture that will come out, that will make this cut tougher than what it really needs to be, to where if it had been left as the whole muscle and I would have processed it myself, then I could cut it whenever I was ready and not have all this surface area and not had near as much blood in the meat whenever it thawed out. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm super excited about being involved in the entire process, literally from field to table. And so this is really just kind of the beginning of it, and I hope you guys learn along here with me. So what we're going to do this evening is I've already cut up a venison steak that obviously has been thawed out. I've mixed it with some sesame oil, garlic, ginger, and some green onion. So we're going to toss this around a little bit, get it all completely coated. Then we're going to add it to the frying pan, and then we're going to add our veggies, saute them, and add some marinade also, and end up with a stir fry with some rice. So we're adding some avocado oil, and we're going to throw the marinated meat in there, and we're basically just going to sear it, and then we'll set it to the side, and then we'll add the veggies and saute them, and then add our marinade. All right, so I got our pan good and hot here. So all we're going to do when we add this meat is just sear it, is all we're looking for. So I got it good and hot. These are tender cuts, and so our tender cuts we cook hot and fast. And that's all we're going to do with this, is get a good sear on it. And once we do that, we're going to set it to the side and do the vegetables next. We cook with wine, but we also drink it. Thank you, Brandon from One Winery. All right, so that is actually probably good enough. We'll sear. We're just going to set it to the side. And then we'll add a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to deglaze that real quick with just a little bit of chicken broth. And we use all the good stuff on the bottom here to add to the veggies. And go ahead and add a little bit more of avocado oil. Chef's recipe calls for snow peas, but I'm actually using asparagus instead. And so we throw that in first because it takes a little bit longer to cook. And then we'll add in yellow bell peppers and red bell peppers, and then water chestnuts. Also going to season with a little bit of sea salt and pepper. Alright, so go ahead and add some water chestnuts, yellow bell peppers, and red bell peppers. I'll let those cook for just a little bit, and then we're going to add our marinade. And our marinade is a little bit of plum sauce, hoisin sauce, and just a basic stir-fry sauce, and then actually a little bit of cranberry juice because we did not have plum wine. And that is a good substitute for plum wine. So that's what we're using. Good color. Sea salt. All right, so we got the veggies good to go. We're going to add the sauce in now, again, which is the hoisin sauce, plum sauce, some cranberry, and some stir-fry marinade. We'll actually bring this back to a boil. So I'm going to turn the heat back up, bring it to a boil, let it simmer for a little while, add the meat back in, let it finish cooking, and pour it over some rice, and we've got dinner. We've already got it up to a boil. I'm going to add the venison in now, the flavor of the marinade. Let that cook for just a little bit longer so that the meat soaks up the marinade, and this looks really good. Lots of good color. Some of the yellows, greens, and reds. This deer was actually taken with one of Outdoor Solutions outfitters in South Texas last season. So that's how I said, we're cleaning out our freezer and getting ready to fill it back up again for this year. As we're actually heading back down to South Texas with one of my favorite outfitters, Charles, down by La Pryor, Texas, on, like I said, one of Outdoor Solutions outfitters, and bring some more venison back for the freezer. Cook for just a little bit. All right, so now we are ready to serve. We got a little bit of, now this looks like brown rice. Actually, it's white rice, but instead of using water, I used a beef and vegetable broth instead, and gives it a great flavor. So we're gonna plate this up, and this first serving is actually going to be for my beautiful bride, Deborah. also known as camera person, and let her try. And full disclosure, she is not really a venison fan, so we're going to see how we did, because during our classes that we've done with Chef, I mean, it is seriously restaurant quality. Does not taste like venison, has no gamey taste, and is absolutely outstanding. 100% organic, 100% sourced by ourselves. So if we can pass the Deborah test, we've got it made. Man, even if I do say so myself, this looks pretty damn good.
It smells amazing.
How's that, babe? Does that look all right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna give that one a try for Miss Deborah, and I'll take care of myself next. So there we go. Pretty simple. Literally, I made this in 20-ish minutes. Very easy, simple to do. Great proteins, and like I said, 100% sourced by ourselves.